Joel Kamish coming at you live with your Week 13 update for the Fall Creek and other exotic locations Fantasy Football League. It is a huge week, lots of things to get through, so let's get to the info. Beatdown of the week. Was Hanging Chads over Canada Steve by 54.3 points, the largest margin of victory we have seen in the Fall Creek and other exotic locations Fantasy Football League. Congratulations, Canada Steve. Or sorry, to the Hanging Chads for beating your friend Canada. You know, all Steve does is try and serve the community, build the bike trail, and you know, I know that Chad's on the bike trail all the time. And what does he do? Chad just beats up Canada Steve. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't feel like it's really fair of Chad to have done that to Steve, but hey, I mean, if Chad can sleep at night. Lots of info as we head into the last week of the regular season. Last week's results, it was upset week.
His buddy's tweeting.
He's
really having a hard time.
Nearly all the lower seed teams won except Chad, who beat Canada Steve. Everyone else that was a higher seed lost. So standings at the top didn't change that much, but the mid-table standings going into this last week of the regular season are all a crazy, crazy mess. So last week of the regular season, the playoffs start next week. As a reminder, the playoffs are the top 6 teams. The number 1 and 2 seeds get a bye. So heading into the last week of the regular season, let's talk about what's at stake. Number 1, NFL is the only team that has clinched a playoff spot with 8 wins. However, number 2, NFL has not clinched first place or the top seed. Mathematically, any of the top 6 teams can still win the regular season top seed money. Number 3, any of the top 10 teams can still make the playoffs. There are 5 playoff spots left. So that means Trophy Wife, Canada Steve, they are the only 2 teams that are eliminated from actual playoff contention, but any of the other teams could still make it. Any of the other top 10 teams can still make it. Number 4, Canada Steve has clinched the year-end party. So mathematically, there's a chance that he ties Trophy Wife for record, but he's already more than 250 points behind. So he would have to win his game and outscore Kristen by close to 300 points. Steve, just prepare ye the party, please. All right, number 5. Matchup of the week this week is Justin versus Kristen. And why is this hugely important? Because it's for the high point winner, right? So 14 teams, hashtag never forget, has compiled about 1,490 points. And Trophy Wife, although she's in 11th place, has compiled 1,498 points. So there is actually a scenario where Kristen could lose to Justin, but if she loses to Justin by less than 8 points, then she is still high point winner. So crazy, crazy thing. So if Kristen wins, she's high point. If Justin wins by 8 points or more, he is going to be high point winner. The next closest mathematically are Jennifer and Chad, but they would have to outscore everybody by 60 plus points to win high point. Other huge games this week. Oh, the other kicker on that Justin Kristen game is that if Justin wins and Jennifer loses, he could also wrap up winner of the regular season. So lots at stake on that game right there. So other huge games this week. The Hanging Chads versus Drunk Wives Matter. The loser could tumble out of playoff contention. They're both in there right now. They're both in the top 6, but the loser of that game falls likely below that 6th spot. Find the Hole versus Sully's crew. If Sully wins, he's back in playoff contention ahead of Mina. Jennifer versus Kenny Ball. Kenny needs to win to have a chance at the playoffs. And Shenanigans versus Baton Rouge Bound. They both need to win. Shenanigans has a better spot. She's already got 6 wins, and that would take her to 7 and 6. So that would likely give her a leg up for the playoffs if she's able to win that game. All right. Crazy things going on with this week's NFL schedule. There was no Thursday night football. there are 2 Monday football games. Washington at Pittsburgh is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, and Buffalo at San Francisco is the Monday night football game. There were actually 3 games, but they pushed one of the games to Tuesday. So Dallas-Baltimore is a Tuesday night game at 7:05, which means we will not have all of this wrapped up or any idea who's in the playoffs until Wednesday morning officially. All right, so that's it. That's a lot to digest. There's a lot going on there. Make sure you check your rosters because there are COVID updates every single day, and there are lots and lots of players that are going on and off COVID IR. And check for any last-minute reschedules to the games. Some of those reschedules have been announced like on a Saturday. Like last week, the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game got pushed to a Wednesday, and they didn't announce that until Sunday. All right, so good luck to everybody. I hope all your fantasy football dreams come true. See you later.